Those who are out there moving and shaking, you want to stay tuned, learn more about resources and things that you can utilize for your business, for your career. And do you know what the month of May is? Hold on and we'll tell you. Welcome to the WorkHARDAholics Show with your host, the original WorkHARDaholic, Shirley Crawford, author, speaker, and small business consultant for over 20 years, helping you to work hard, play harder, and business better. Hello, and welcome to WorkHARDaholics. This show is for you, the entrepreneur, that C-suite executive, that person who's out there moving, shaking, making changes. Here's a chance for you to learn how to live your life in balance, learning the resources and tools that you need to be successful. So, hello, I am Shirley Crawford, your host, the original WorkHARDaholic. I can say WorkHARDaholic without singing it, but for some reason it doesn't feel natural. All right, so welcome to the month of May. There is so much going on this month. And of course, we want to start off by saying Happy Mother's Day. So at this point, Mother's Day is just a few days away. So if you have forgotten, because you're that busy executive or that entrepreneur who's so focused that you don't keep track of the days of the week, you're welcome. Go get your mama something, okay? And I, of course, as always, honor the original WorkHARDaholic, the original entrepreneur, missionary, author, speaker, the woman who does it all, my mother, Annie Crawford Hayes. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. And to all of my siblings and sisters and all of you out there who are mothers, happy Mother's Day to you. You do not go unrecognized, whether we say it or not. We respect you, we honor you, we appreciate you, and we hope that your children are showing you something amazing this weekend. All right, what else is going on this month? It's also, I think this is really appropriate. So the same time that it's Mother's Day, it is also Business Appreciation Month. Am I the only one who sees like how that syncs up together quite perfectly? So, especially here in the state of Virginia, the governor has issued a proclamation that the month of May is Business Appreciation Month. If your organization is having any type of event to celebrate that, you can forward that information over to the SBSD. I have to always check all of my acronyms because they want to highlight and celebrate those with you. It's an organization here in Virginia. It's an agency here in Virginia, and their whole focus is small businesses. And so they want to honor your business, or if your business is celebrating or your organization is somehow highlighting small business owners or entrepreneurship, let them know. Information on the screen on how to do so, because they want to celebrate with you. So for all of my entrepreneurs, all of my small business owners, my solopreneurs, wannapreneurs, motherpreneurs, whatever you are, congratulations for the work that you do, and happy Business Appreciation Month. All right. I told y'all May is like super busy. I don't know why May is so popular, but May is also Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. And so I'm saying, once again, I hope you all are celebrating appropriately. And I'm going to tell you all something. So a lot of times, if you get like national calendar, which I'm a big supporter of, it's like there's a holiday for every day of the week. And a lot of them I ignore, right? I don't care about National Flea Collar Day. I don't even have a dog. I don't care. But sometimes I think it's really great because it reminds me of the diversity of the United States, the diversity of the world in general, and it keeps me from having tunnel vision. So one of the things for me, and I hope this serves as an example for you, when I recognized that May was Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, I was really thinking about the fact that I don't know as much about this population of people. And so I'm going to spend this month reflecting, learning, reading, educating, and potentially reaching out to the people that I know who are a part of the population to learn more, to appreciate their culture for this month. right? Because I mean, that's what it's all about. When we talk about diversity, it's not just a matter of I want everyone to embrace me and everything about me, but I want to have an understanding of those around about me because together, that's how we make up the human race, right? So, with that in mind, our word for the week is Asian American. You think that's like a duh, but it's not. There's a lot more involved. And I reflect on the fact that just like the term African American, the term Asian American hasn't been around all that long. And so I remember as a child, remember, I'm a quinquagenarian, so I've been around a little bit longer than some of you and a little less than some of you. And I remember thinking what an odd term it was to say Oriental because I never got it because I always thought Oriental's a rug. Like it's not a population of people, but that was how, previously speaking, a lot of Asians were identified. Like people would say Oriental. It just sounded really offensive to me. So I was very excited as a terminology of Asian American. And so, but what I found fascinating is that, like, how they break it down. So, when we talk about Latino and Latina, we know that it's lots of different countries, and it's not just one area, right? And so, it's the same when they talk about Asian and Pacific Islanders. And so, I pulled up some information from the North Carolina Asian Americans Together organization, and they were talking about some of the definitions by area, like Pacific Islander, East Asian, Southeast Asian, West Asian, and even they state that there are more populations, but those are the ones that they specifically focus on, and that there are some that are not included. And so I don't think I'm the only one who didn't know all of this. But I am pleased to note that once I'm done celebrating Mother's Day, that that's what I'm going to spend this month doing. I really want to focus to learn more. And so if you're out there and you have a massive wealth of information, please share it, comment, send me a message. Shirley at WorkHARDaholics.com. Would love to know more. All right. So I challenge you all to join me in my journey this month to learn more about the Asian population, the Pacific Islander population. It's more than just saying, I want to go to Hawaii or whatever. Let's learn more together. All right? Okay. On that note of appreciation for all that you all do, I want to say thank you for your support of WorkHARDaholics. All right, WorkHARDaholics. Okay, so we have a great following on TikTok. We have a very nice following on Instagram. You all have heard me say, I'm going to say it again. We want to build up our YouTube platform. This means you must go to YouTube, like, share, subscribe, repeat, like, share, subscribe, repeat, and comment. Like, do all the above, right? Because the last time I looked, we have less than 50 subscribers. I didn't look today, but considering the population of people who follow us, like on TikTok, where I'm very rarely found, but I'm going to work on that, we have well over 1,000. And on YouTube, where I am quite a lot more often, we have less than 50. Help us, people. Help us help you. It's not like a car salesman. But really, the more that you all like, share, subscribe, repeat, and comment, then the more people can get this information. And I think that what we share is very informative and very helpful and motivational and encouraging and all the above. And I'll smile at you too. Not that that's helpful, but please share. Thank you. All right. Speaking of resources, once again, I've been sharing this for the past few weeks. If you're not in Virginia, this doesn't pertain to you. But if you are doing business in Virginia or with any state agency in Virginia, which is a lot, I'm always saying that covers everything from dog food to highways, everything in between. If you can think of it, a state agency needs it. And so all that's done through EVA, which is being updated. I hope that you all have heard me mention this because I've said it for a few weeks now. It was supposed to go live this past Monday, but it has been postponed. So you still have time to go to the EVA website, eva.virginia.gov /EVA-transition You can find it. Just go there. And you'll see that there are videos to help you learn how to use the new site. And I don't know about you, but if you're an entrepreneur, one of our biggest things is always money. Money, 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 money. Like for real, money. And so, how do you get money? How do you make money? You get clients. You provide your product or service to someone. Now, I've mentioned before, if you're doing work with like a Fortune 25, a Fortune 50, a Fortune 500, a lot of times larger organizations are not pressed to pay you in 30 days. And so you could be waiting for your payments. And sometimes the federal government as well, but depending on the level of your, but with the federal government or the state, you will get paid. Furlough or not a furlough, you will get paid. The money is guaranteed to you. All right. And sometimes, depending on the level of the service or product, as far as the price tag, they can use your P cards, which are just credit cards, purchasing cards, credit cards that state agencies have. So you are guaranteed payment. Sometimes you can get a little quicker. Right. And so it's guaranteed money. But you have to get the contract. You have to get an EVA. You have to register, have to list your next codes. You have to do all this stuff. You should probably talk to Randy Brown if you're in Richmond or nearby. Talk to an SBSD rep like Randy. And then you can learn all that good information. You can see who the buyers are. You can make those connections. And so at this point, after a while, in all honesty, I tell you this from my experience, like they start calling you. Like in the past month, I've gotten, no, not May, but in the month of April, that month that was just last week, I have gotten like 3 or 4 different calls for jobs. And so they're going, hey, I'm looking for a speaker, a facilitator. I'm looking for this service. I'm looking for this product. Can you send us a quote? And all I am is listed and registered. I also get the notifications from Eva when they think that something matches my next codes, to say, hey, here are the jobs that we're looking for. We're looking for quotes for these. How much easier can we make it? People, go get registered. Okay. And so keep in mind the new system. I'm not sure of the date that it's going live. I said I was going to check and I did not. Oops, sorry. I'll try to check it, post it in the comments. But it'll be going live soon. Take the time. They have these training videos. They're up 24/7. So you can go look. And if you're not registered, get registered. How much more can I tell you that? Okay. That's for you to know. All right. Here's something else that I have mentioned before, but it's worth mentioning again. A lot of these corporations are now having accelerators, especially for Black and Brown business owners. They're having more diversity programs. And so I've mentioned this one before, but I'm going to share one more time. And maybe I'm sharing it again for you. You right there who heard me say it months ago and hasn't done it yet. Let's get on it, people. Amazon has a Black Business Accelerator. And so if you don't recognize it, Amazon is, I'm going to say, the largest marketplace. And it's really not that complicated to be an affiliate, to post your service, to post your products, to do whatever, to make business exchanges. And they have all kinds of things that are happening there. So if you provide a service or a product, and here is the number one marketplace, and they have an accelerator to help you do business with them and to do business better, then I think you get the rest, right? Okay, so just take note of that. Something else that's happening. So as we're talking about our do business better, I've mentioned this one before. And sometimes I repeat because I don't know about you. I was telling Christina, our producer here at the Imagine Media Lab, where we host this show of WorkHARDaholics. I was telling Christina just earlier that even though like I make note of all these things that are happening and I stay aware, like I missed a seminar that I really wanted to attend because I forgot. Yeah, I feel very sad about that. So I'm going to reach out and see if they did a recording and if they'll share, because I'm not going to let it go by, because I have mentioned some amazing sessions that have happened. They've had sessions on, when I say varieties of organizations that I've talked about during the show have had seminars on QuickBooks, QuickBook Basics, which is one of my favorites, because for my clients, it's one of the things I know that in general, whenever I talk about it, their eyes glaze over like, well, what are we talking about? So I was talking about that. There were all kinds of ones. There were taxes and cybersecurity, and I missed the one about trademarks, and I really did want to attend. I think we had something else going on at the same time, but either way, I missed that one, and I'm going to go back and reach out. I'm like, hey, do you have a recording? Are you going to do it again? Because this is what I always say. I am a small business consultant, have been so for over 2 decades, 2 decades and a half now, actually a little over that. And even so, I am not a CPA. I am not an HR specialist, although I've worked in HR before. I've also worked in accounting before. And so you go to this, I'm not a lawyer. And so you go to the specialist because they stay on top of what's happening now. So like when we were talking about the idle audit, right, that some businesses had to go through was this past tax season. I can tell you about it, but your CPA is the one who should know whether it affects you, right? So I'm here to give you like the do. You should be aware. Boop, boop, boop. Do you know about this? Hey, this is happening. Check with so-and-so. But that's why we use an expert, a subject matter expert, because they know. And so that's the part that we're sharing on this end to make sure that you are aware to go check your resources. Okay. So on that note, one of the next things that's happening, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm not going to sing the fight song for JMU. I'm not going to do it this week. It's hard for me not to. I'm so used to singing it at every football game, but we're not singing it today. May 17th. So you still have time to register for that. And it's all about pulling back the curtain on supplier opportunities. And so I get a little frustrated, which is probably why I spend so much time sharing resources with you all. I get a little frustrated because I'm like, there's opportunities. There are things that are happening, but a lot of times people hear the information and they do nothing with it, which makes it feel like a waste of time. Like right now, my mouth is dry. I want some water. And I'm making all this effort, and someone is watching this and doing nothing with the information. But I've also learned someone is watching or listening, if you're listening to the podcast. Someone is listening and is wholeheartedly, with great joy, going to do something with the information that I'm sharing. So for you, you're the reason I continue on. That's all there is to it. So this event is May 17th. You can register at aap.events/JMU supplier opportunity event. All right, on the screen for you. Go Dukes. And then we were talking about taxes and CPAs and subject matter experts. ChesterfieldEconomicDevelopment.com/learn / is hosting a free event. So I always say this, and I think I just like saying it, but it's so true. The IRS is the biggest gangster, period. And I don't want any of you all to have issues with the IRS because they can really make your life impossible. Furthermore, they can actually incarcerate you, right? To go to jail, I think you should go to jail for something big. I mean, I don't want you to go at all, but if you're going to go, like, go hard or go home. Like, to go to jail because you didn't understand your taxes and you put down crazy information and now you owe all this money and that's just a waste of your life. So, I'm just saying. So the Lunch and Learn hosted by Chesterfield Economic Development, there's May 11th, July 13th, September 14th, and November 9th. Once again, free resources for you all, people, so you don't have any excuse. So if for some reason you do go to jail of your taxes, I'm not visiting you. Just say it. Because there's information out there to keep that from happening. I'm just saying. All right, and at this point, we're going to take a moment to hear a word from our sponsors. Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA. When you're ready for more than just office space, come join the WBCRVA family. All right, and at this point, we're about to hear a little social media information and knowledge for your repertoire from none other than Socialita Christina.
Hey guys, I hope that you all are doing well. It is Wednesday and it is time for a social media tip. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about captions, all right? Captions are just as important as the photo or the video that you are posting, okay? Captions are how you really support the content that you're putting out, right? So the photo, the video, it will cause individuals to stop, right? But the information that you have below or above, it depends on whether it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram, right? The information that you have attached to that content is, again, just as important. It really describes the content in detail. It gives more information. If it's an event, it's letting people know where it is, the attire, all that. So if you are struggling with your content or with your captions, right, you need to check out Copy AI, and that is COPYAI. All right. Now it will help you create amazing captions. All right. It also helps you with different writing tools. It helps you with your hashtags. It helps you with all that, right? And you can select whether you want the caption to be witty, whether you want it to be persuasive. It helps you with your copy ads and all those different things. So if you're struggling with your captions or what to write under a post, struggle no more. Check out Copy AI. All right, guys, I hope that helped you all. Let me know in the comment section if that helped you. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.
I think I just like how that sounds. Struggle no more. That's like a great hashtag, Christina. All right. So as we continue on with WorkHARDaholics, want to share beyond sharing. Here's the thing. So we talked about the fact that I've been a consultant for over 25 years. I'm over here at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, direct across street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. And that's what we do. We do offer a free consultation. One free consultation to anyone, man, woman, or child. I think it's been a while since I've mentioned that. So good time to share that information. But also on the show, one of the things that we do is, what's your question? Right? And so if you have a question related to entrepreneurship or anything that we share on the show, anything that we can answer for you, especially if it's related to Workaholics, send us a message and let us know. You can drop a message to admin@WorkHARDaholics.com and we'll answer that. So the one on the screen is the question we answered last week. So if you're looking at it going, what's a DUNS number? What's a UEI? Go back and look at last week's show. We answered that already. No, stop that. We established that UEI sounded, kind of peculiar. All right. So, but if you have a question, we've probably got an answer, or we might even bring in a resource to answer it for you. So drop us a line and tell us what your question is. And hey, it can be featured on our next What's Your Question segment. All right. Alrighty then. Aha! I'm so excited. We want to remind you all, if you have not seen, that coming soon is the Empower Conference, August 4th through the 6th. It's here in Richmond, Virginia. Yes, virtual tickets are available. You can purchase your tickets on Eventbrite. You can go look at our website. You can go to the Women's Business website. You can go to Eventbrite. You can find it on Facebook. The information is all over the place, and we want you to be included because it's our second annual, and it's going to be exciting and fun and amazing. And I'm really excited about it. So once again, it's August 4th through August 6th. The thing that you all need to know, though, right now, there is a femme as in feminine, femme Filmmakers Festival, August 6th at the Bird Theater. We're going to be showing all kinds of work from the ladies who have either directed, produced, and some of them will be available to talk about their works of art. But there is also the Filmmakers Festival competition open to any Virginia high school student, right? And the theme is promoting healing, providing hope. Women promoting healing, providing hope. And anyone can enter, any Virginia high school student. Homeschool, public school, private school, we don't care. As long as you are in school, in the state of high school, in the state of Virginia, you can enter your 30-minute or less short. You can go to ouремpowerment.com for more information. You can go to Film Freeway and look up the Empower Conference or the Filmmakers Festival for more information. But the deadline is fast approaching. So submit your shorts so that you could be the winner of $500. Like, that's nothing to sneeze at. And the school that you came from will also get $500. I think I always wanted to be a game show host or something. All right. So keep that in mind. The Empower Conference, August 4th through the 6th. Enter now for the Filmmakers Festival competition. That's a lot of F's for one person to have to say. All right, so at this point, want to do our small business highlight. As I mentioned, in addition to Mother's Day coming up on Sunday, in addition to it being Business Appreciation Month, I mentioned that it's Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And so for our business spotlight, wanted to highlight the Asian American Chamber, the Virginia Asian American Chamber. Because where do I live? Virginia. All right. So shout out to Milan Tron and to the crew that makes things happen. I have to say, of all of the chambers, you all do your part in your way. But of all of the chambers, the one that to me seems the most connected and really, really vibrant. I love the Hispanic Chamber. They do some great work as well with Michelle. But the Asian American Chamber, like, I constantly see them, and it might be by our locality. I constantly see them doing events, activities, activism, like all kinds of things. And they're constantly doing things between Richmond and DC. So shout out to you all. Keep up the good work. And we look to learning more about the things that you all have going on so we can share that as well. And at this point, I know that for the past couple of weeks, I have not shared a book for our Book It moment. Because as I stated last week, I've been too busy to read. That's just the truth of the matter. And so soon I'm going to start sharing things from our producer's bookshelf. And at some point I'll sit down and start to be able to read. But if you stick to the end, you're going to see a bunch of the things that we have going on. And I have a bunch more that are happening that I say nothing about. So time is busy. All right. But this week, we are sharing a book for our Book It moment. This week on WorkHARDaholics, we are sharing Slay Like a Mother by Katherine Winch. And so Katherine Winch is one of those people who I find to be extraordinary. She's just a sweetheart of a woman. And so when you hear her story, it's amazing. So she talks about the balance of being a marketing executive, very high up in her organization, a mother, a wife, and how she was losing on all fronts. I'm not going to tell her story. She'll tell her story. Or you can pick up your own copy of Slay Like a Mother and learn more about it. And so she went from that to, it is not unusual for me to turn on my TV and see her on Good Morning America. or to see her being interviewed or something else happening, she's created this whole other organization that talks about the marketing metrics of mothers. So, like companies like Unilever and others reach out to her for stats and data about mothers. And so, an amazing book by Katherine Winch, by an amazing person, Katherine Winch. And so, that's our book. Our bookend moment for this week is Slay Like a Mother. And so, that seems highly appropriate because, once again, it's Sunday, it's Mother's Day. And when I think about like the people who are like, I don't want to say undervalued, but the people who do talk about juggling, I think about moms, right? And so there used to be this commercial by Anjali. I know I'm dating myself. I repeat, I'm a quinquagenarian. But the commercial was, I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and never ever let you forget you're the man because I'm a woman. Anjali. Okay. I don't think they make that perfume anymore. So no promo intended. But I just find it amazing that women, mothers in particular, are constantly out there. They're doing it and they're making it happen. So I applaud you all, and I suggest that you all continue to slay like a mother. All right. So when we talk about our work hard, play harder moments. So I have a few things that we're gonna like cover today because I work hard, but I play harder. So the first thing was for me, as I said, May is Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And so when I try to have my balance, because this weekend is the first time I didn't come to work on Saturday. I wasn't going to come in Sunday, but I did. I couldn't help it. But I didn't come into the office on Saturday. I did peek my head in on Friday, but that's just because there's so many things that are happening that just had to happen that way. Plus, we had an event Friday night, which I'm going to tell you all about. But I did. So one of the things that I'm doing now is I'm returning back to what I used to do when I first got started. When I first got started, over 20 years ago. That was so long ago. Over 25 years ago, I would reward myself, and which is something I highly recommend. If you're an entrepreneur, you should reward yourself. And so I try to not let my rewards be food, because that's when the scale tips a lot closer to numbers that we don't want to see. And you don't want to spend a lot of money when you just made a little money. So how I used to reward myself, and you've heard me say it before, I used to buy DVDs, which is why I have this crazy collection of DVDs now, even though I haven't bought one in forever, and actually have given away tons of them and still have tons more, because that's how I would reward myself. I would buy a DVD and I would insert a little description on like what I did to merit the purchase. So with that kind of thing in mind, what I've recently done is now I go to the movies. See you at the multiplex. And so I went to the movies this past weekend, May 1st. Sorry, Christina. May 1st, I went to the movies and I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. And so I thought it seemed appropriate. And so it's a 99% Asian cast. And so, which I love. I was pulled in by the trailer, because I thought it looked exciting, and I like Marvel and Bruce Lee. I'm trying to tell you, they had a lot going on in these trailers, and it felt like the right mix for me. It wasn't. I didn't enjoy it, but it was really well made. So my point, it really was. I feel like this was a really well made movie for me not to like it at all. But it was really well made, and I love the fact that the people who were in it were so committed to their roles, no matter how utterly ridiculous what they were doing. They were in it to win it. Okay, when you see it, you'll know why. So if you're like a Jim Carrey fan, you'd probably really enjoy this movie. So feel free to check it out. But I applaud, especially during Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. I would have applauded the idea that the cast was predominantly Asian no matter what. But it just seems like You think they timed it? Do you think they timed it according to that? I don't know. But I will say I'm not a highly emotional person on a day-to-day basis, but I get caught up in storylines. And so, like, the movie, even though I knew the ending from the beginning, it still got one little teardrop out of me, like right there. Just the one. That's my, you caught me. One little teardrop. So even though I say I'm kind of sorry that I went to go see it, I'm glad that it exists, and maybe you all will enjoy it. The bottom line for me is, whatever the experience, that we should be doing more than just working. Make time to enjoy life. That's the bottom line. So that was part of my play harder moment. But wait, there's more. Okay, so very excited. You can see it on the screen. But I got to, and this may or may not excite some of you, but I met our new governor and the first lady here in Virginia. So I assist with the Virginia Council on Women. And so they have, it's the 11th, right? It was the 11th annual STEAM H essay contest. And so I got to present. Actually, I got to tell them how much money they got this year. And that was so exciting. I think I'm allowed to keep saying it. It's public. It should be public knowledge now, right? So it was a presentation, and these amazing young ladies from all across the state of Virginia, and there are 10 of them, 10 regions, 10 winners, and they wrote in their essays, and oh my God, they were so amazing. Like, to hear some of their stories. One of the young ladies had a very similar experience to one that I had, so my heart went out to her in ways that I cannot explain. She was discussing how one of her teachers, basically told her that college wasn't for her. And she said some other things that were crazy, especially in 2022. And when I reflect, if you've heard my story before, I talk about the fact that back in, when was I in middle school? I don't even know the math. 1982, maybe? That sounds about right. So in 1982, that sounds about right. 1982, here she is in 2022, and we're having the same story. Does anyone else think that's ridiculous? So for me, it was a guidance counselor, which is why I think it's the most heinous. So we were going in for standard checkup with guidance counselor, and I was a geeky, kid. If the principal called me in, it was to say hello. It was never to say what a bad thing I was doing. And so I had no expectations of anything other than, good job, Shirley. Yeah, right? And so, but I went in, and the guidance counselor told me that I should not be planning to go to college. I should consider a trade. And it was devastating. Like, it had a massive effect on me. So, like, for months after that, I didn't do so well in school. Like, I did okay. But I didn't apply myself for like a long time after that. I finally had to like shake myself and get it together and realize that I couldn't allow this person to impact my future. But it was damaging. And worse yet, I never talked about it. I never even told that story until maybe a year or two ago was the first time I ever told the story. And that was because I was participating in, oh my God, what's the name of it? It's this amazing thing where Black women and white women exchange social media. And I did the project here. And so I told the story because I can't imagine that there was any, Caucasian counterpart who would ever experience what I experienced, especially when I was an A student and doing so well and so engaged and so involved and so clearly prepped for the road to college, and to be told that. It was rather devastating. And I think it's part of the reason, I said before, I think it's part of the reason that I became a mentor and so active and engaged in other young people's lives, to make sure that they had someone who was always cheering for them and not tearing them down, especially when that someone is supposed to be the person helping you, like to guide you, like a guidance counselor. I don't know where that lady is, and I'm not going to say the things I've thought about her in the past, but I will thank her because of that, I think I have been a better citizen. So, but to know that from 1982 to 2022, that's 40 years. Can I do math? That's 40 years, and we're having the same experience. So this young lady shared her story, and I was so deeply moved. And yeah, but she had the support of her family to help her pull through. I wish I had talked to mine about it at the time. But c'est la vie. We're here now. All right. And so it was a phenomenal event. Once again, so the governor presented to them it's a lovely certificate and some information. And the scholarship program is done by the Governor's Council on Women. And so the Council on Women has been around for some time. It's been there beyond this governor. And so that's one of the things that they do. And so special shout out to Geico, who was one of the large donors, and Cox Communication and ChemTreat and some other individuals and some other agencies. Like, kudos to you all for being active and concerned about what our young ladies are going to do, and making sure that they can make a contribution to society through STEAM H. It was very exciting. It was a great event. All right, so that was part of what we did over the weekend. I told you all it was a busy time. And something else that happened is that the interview that we talked about before, it finally aired. So thank you to the EW Scripts Company, to Matt Pearl, who actually did the interview and who has the voiceover, to 13-time Emmy Award winning photojournalist Justin McCrae. I said from now on, that's how I'm going to say his name. It's not just Justin McCrae. He was the photojournalist who came on site to us here in Richmond and did all the footage. And so feel free to go to our YouTube channel to see the full interview. Share it. It's all about the gender wage gap and how in some areas it's decreasing. For certain populations, it's been decreasing. But that doesn't mean the work is over. It just means that some of the work hasn't been in vain. And what that really should tell us is that if we keep pushing, we keep going, we keep moving, we can really make this a thing. And we don't have to wait for 100 years from now for men and women who have the same qualifications, the same background, and the same role, the same amount of tenure to make the same amount of pay. It seems like ABCs, but somehow we've made it like rocket science. So I was really honored to be a part of that conversation. I hope you all will check that out. And at this point, I want to mention once again, please be sure to go register for the Empower Conference. Yeah, and that's EMPOWHER. All right. And if you have a Virginia high school student, or you are a Virginia high school student and you want to submit your short, please do so, because I think the deadline is probably going to be extended. But even at that, you probably have, 2 weeks at the most to make your submission. So get on that, people. All right. So, something else I forgot to share. I have to keep stuff like really close to me so that I don't forget. Here we have a new neighbor. And so I love to support entrepreneurship, even if you are a chain. Every business started small somewhere, so we support it. And so here, as I've mentioned a million times, we are across the street from the Willow Lawn, and Buff City Soap opened up a location. Apparently, they've opened 2 or 3 in Virginia, but they just opened one here in Richmond, directly across the street from us in Willow Lawn. So I went to the grand opening, and it was very informative. I learned all kinds of things. So if you've never heard of Buff City Soap, I bought a whole lot more than just this, but I love a good mystery box. I'm doing the unveiling. Actually, I did it already. I just have to upload it. Like, you can go back to the WorkHARDAholics channel a little bit later and you'll see it. And but the whole thing is that if you have any kind of skin issues, if you're sensitive, if like your laundry detergent breaks you out, any of these things, they have handmade soaps. And like I got coconut, and so there's shea butter, and so it's all kinds of great stuff. I also got some laundry detergent. And so what happens is, like, you pick your scent. So there is a bath oil, which reminds me of like Skin So Soft for Avon, which I'm a big fan of, by the way. And so what happens is, like, I'll talk about the laundry detergent because I found that really fascinating. So, of course, it's all plant-based. It's hypoallergenic. So if you have any issues, it's really great for that. And then what you do is you go over. There's a maker's bar. I just think this is fascinating. I have nothing to do with these people. They are not sponsoring this. They can if they want to, but they're not at the moment. But anyway, you go to the maker's bar, you take over your items, and they apply the scent to it. So you choose whatever you're interested in, like 99 Palmlums, I don't know why, or Narcissist, or they have a bunch of different, coconut, whatever, bunch of different jasmine, different smells, and then they will add it into your, in my case, laundry detergent, or like I got the dryer ball, the wool dryer ball. So I bought a bunch, which I wasn't intending. But anyway, support local businesses. If they're in your area, support them. Because even if they're a national chain, if they're in your area, that means money is also coming to your area. Because, taxes and all that good stuff. Okay, so that was some of my excitement from this week. So I'm really excited because we got to see the interview. The interview came to Richmond anyway. Friday is when it first aired. So then we got to have a watch party and watch that, and then we went over to the governor's mansion for the Virginia Council on Women 11th STEAM HSA contest winner event. And that was really cool. And then we hung out with everyone for a little while. We socialized because we worked hard. We played a little harder. And so that was just the beginning of our weekend. So now, once again, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all you ladies out there. And of course, to all the entrepreneurs, Happy Business Appreciation Month. And of course, I told you, May is just busy. Happy Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Can there be any more? I'm sure there's more. But for now, that's good enough celebrating. Keep in mind all the events we told you about for resources for your business. And as we always like to say, live better, do better, be better, and happy entrepreneuring. Ta-ta.
Let Socialita help your business stand out from the crowd by building your brand success through social media management. We're located at 1510 Willowlawn Drive, Suite 100. Our website is www.socialitarva.com. You can also give us a call at 804-484-2001. Again, Socialita.
Imagine Media Lab, partnered with the Women's Business Center, offers hourly rental to a multimedia studio. Create or edit digital assets for marketing, record that podcast you've always wanted to start, voiceovers, and live stream. All equipment and software is included in your hourly rental. Located at the Women's Business Center, 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, ImagineMediaLabs.com. Book your session today. Visit our empowerment